I hate the homies.
Ladies and gentlemen, we back in action for another episode of I Hate the Homies, and we glad you do. Rock Teasies, Who I Be, episode number 125.
It's your boy Griff, a.k.a. Mr. Raider Nation, a.k.a. Mr. Go Blue, a.k.a. Griffy 2 Trillion, and I hate the homies.
And it's your boy Super Dave. But guess what, y'all?
We don't care.
But we
I
do
know,
care
I
about.
know they don't care.
We do care about that centipede on your hat. What's that centipede representing? The hung little
Take
caterpillar?
it off and put it to the camera close so we can see. Because I still can't even see the centipede.
Little caterpillar. Look at that little baby caterpillar.
Oh,
Centipede.
that's a millipede.
A millipede. Look at him.
It's a millipede, and it's shaped like Quincy Jones, the dude, in the face. Oh, him want to be a butterfly one day.
Y'all got to
fly. Yes, him is.
Yeah,
you just keep dreaming, and you make you a little hiding place, and you will turn into a butterfly.
That's
you
right,
will.
Little butterfly.
You
Super
get you a
Daddy,
cocoon.
baby.
Him gonna make a cocoon. Who gonna make a cocoon? You gonna make a cocoon? You gonna make a cocoon? What you gonna use for your cocoon? The inside of his cocoon gonna have prints like he was in the 7th grade. His cocoon gonna have Right On magazine pages of prints.
I still got them. I still got the Right On. Man. Yes, I still got them.
That's the funny part, KZ. Keep that part. Hey, I did send y'all that Baby I'm a Star, that 10-minute version this morning, and I was thinking, I was actually, John Gray, the pastor, was talking about how the planets was aligned, and he started talking about how stars is 1 billion miles away, and the Bible say, you know, God made us out of dust, but we came after the earth was built, and it's because we was a star. So he starts saying to the congregation, look at somebody and say, baby, I'm a star. And he started singing it, and then as soon as he was done, I was like, you know, I need to hear this song now. And I found that long version, and I was like, Prince was so ahead of his time, man.
Y'all getting on me like I'm some kind of freak.
No, man,
we love that you love him, and we got big props that you adore him. But dressing up like him and wearing high heels and that jacket you had with Apollonia mouth on it the other day was too much for a man.
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie. That Baby I'm a Star song is one of my favorite Prince songs. Like,
that's
for real.
It's up tempo. Like it's just great.
And the way he ended the movie on it.
Yeah. With no shirt. All right, let's get it popping, man. We're gonna talk about the Super Bowl is set. Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs, rematch of Super Bowl 57. And but we're going to recap the NFL championship game so we can give you our thoughts on that. We got some new teams with some new coaches. All right, we're going to get into that as well. Jimmy Butler, I think we've seen our last game as him as a Miami Heat player.
As a Heat,
Yeah, he done as a Heat player. And we got a surprise story, mainly for Griff. Like, Griff knows nothing about this particular surprise story. And the reason why me and Super Dave do not want to share this with Griff ahead of time, because we want his natural reaction.
The way Dave is giggling, kind of, I hate what y'all about to do.
So we're going to say that. So make sure y'all listen and stay with us throughout this entire episode. Let's get it popping. Ray Duggar!
I hate the homies.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and Super Dave, we got episode.
Man, that was so funny and unnecessary at the same time.
Definitely unnecessary, but Super Bowl set, guys. Let's talk about the AFC and the NFC Championship games. Where do you want to start with?
Let's start with the NFC.
Let's start with the first game.
Yeah.
You know, you and I picked the Commanders. Dave simply said the Eagles, y'all sound crazy, and we wanted the Cinderella story to keep going. But if that was the Cinderella story, then that game was at midnight 03, because them boys turned back into a mouse and some pumpkins and everything else.
Hold on. You don't hear that? Philadelphia just scored again. They're still scoring.
For real.
When that boy took the ball and took it for 60 on the first play. I said, okay, that's fine. 7-3, that's fine. Then when it was 14-3, I was like, y'all need to play some defense here. And then when it was 21-6, I was like, if y'all gonna lose. And I was just told today by somebody who said that the Washington Commander locker room, they was like, man, we just excited to be here. You know, it's a big deal. We all a new team. But the Eagle locker room, they was mad. Like how they got us playing against Washington like they was salty. And they came out and played like it, man. 100 in football. First of all, it's the first time it's ever been done in a championship. Second of all, it's so disrespectful. And in my family, we call it a 50 burger. A 50 burger with a lot of cheese and some mambo sauce on it.
Let's just go ahead and say this is not the Philadelphia Eagles. These are the Philadelphia Saquon Barkleys. That he's got to be the biggest free agent signing of all time. Like
ain't nobody
can
saying.
You think of any other bigger player that has made that big of an impact? Now look, Philly they were already good. They were already good.
Go back to the 80s, dog. Who?
I'm not talking about the Herschel Walker trade. I'm talking about free agent signing.
Yeah.
Who?
Well, especially when just a year ago, everybody was saying that the running backs were extinct.
No, 2 seasons ago, they was like, they was throwing running backs away like they wasn't nothing.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And Saquon Barkley finally got his shot because the New York Giants they didn't have a great offensive line back when he was playing for the Giants. They really wasted some years with Saquon Barkley because
they really did.
He was the only player on that team on the offensive side doing something, so he would get hurt. On this team, with that offensive line, with the Philadelphia
Eagles, offensive line is not fair.
It may be 1 and 2 between Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles with the best offensive lines, but he's on one team that has a great offensive line. It was simple. You run the ball. You keep the ball out of and I like Jalen Hurts. But you saw what happened last season without that running game with Saquon Barkley. You put too much on.
It's too much pressure on him. That dude is good for 190, 186.
When
he got to go for 280 and 311, that ain't his sauce. That ain't his wheelhouse. He ran for 3 touchdowns. Saquon ran for 3 touchdowns. What was cool
7 rushing touchdowns.
The see the fans. Yeah, well, here's the thing though. This all good, dog. Y'all beat the hell out of the Commanders. That's hella good. Do it to the Chiefs. And when the Chiefs gonna stop that running game.
We'll get to it, but what's the only problem I have with this game, and Rock should really be in pain right now for the Detroit Lions, because it should have been y'all playing the Philadelphia Eagles.
Come on,
it really should have.
Well, not really. They got a 50 burger put on them too.
But they played right into, and that's what I was telling you guys last week. They played right into what Washington wanted to do. That run and shoot. Detroit's defense was suspect. They had a good defense, but they were on the field too long. What was the biggest part of Detroit's game this past season? Running the ball. And they stopped running the ball.
They had 2 running backs. They was having fun.
Running backs.
Old school fun. Ricky Waters and Amp Lee.
I mean, yeah, we could have fed Jameer.
I can't get no love for the Ricky Waters, Amp Lee.
Hey, Ricky was cold. Ricky was cold. We could have fed, like I said, we could have fed Jameer a little bit more. He did have over 100 yards rushing that game, but we still could have fed him some more. I agree with that, but we just didn't have our defense. Our injuries caught up to us. That was the difference between winning and losing that game, in my opinion. But back to the Washington Philly game. Look, man, it was a great story. I was hoping that Washington would still.
I was too.
I was just like, oh man, they got some momentum. It's like, and y'all, I said this on the podcast. I love Jalen Hurts too, but I'm not all the way sold. Like, for some reason, I'm just not all the way sold. But I forgot about that doggone Saquon Barkley. Like, even though I've watched him,
it was disrespectful of us to pick Washington.
Come on, man.
And I did. I told you guys. I told you they were frauds from the beginning. And plus, you got who is their head coach?
Frauds is strong.
That's kind of strong.
No,
Yeah.
they were frauds. You get 55 points put up on you. You're frauds to be at the NFC Championship game. They were frauds. If it wasn't for Jared Goff throwing 2 turnovers, we had 2 interceptions in that game and a fumble. That was the game right there.
And an injured defense. You're right about that.
Yeah,
because the Lions are not frauds. We were
no,
just hurt.
Lions are not frauds. I'm not saying the Lions are frauds, but the whole thing was you don't turn the ball over. We saw what happened when Washington did it. They turned the ball over.
They couldn't get it together. Once they start
could not.
fumbling, dog, it was a wrap, dog.
No.
So let me tell you something. Let's go to Kansas City, Buffalo. Like let me set this up.
Yeah.
And we all know that the Chicago Bears are pinching themselves for not picking Patrick Mahomes. They had a chance to pick Patrick Mahomes. They went with Trubisky.
No, the Bills had the 10th pick and they traded it to the Chiefs.
Chicago picked Trubisky. They could have had Patrick Mahomes. They picked Trubisky.
Yeah.
Then
Nick Trubisky from North Carolina.
Then the
You're
Bills
right.
traded. Then the Bills traded
Rock,
Kansas City.
I know what you're saying, but if you're going to say that,
hold on now. Like, look, the Bills, they're not sick like the flu sick because they got Josh Allen. So they still good. You know what I'm saying? But Josh Allen is never going to be Patrick Mahomes. It's just not going to happen, man. He gets close every single time. And I thought this was going to be the
50
time.
burger put on me than 29-32. That's the worst.
Look, man.
Like that's and the ill part is Josh did
He did everything right.
Josh. You just start feeling sorry for Josh.
He's not going to beat Patrick Mahomes, man. It's like
I said on the radio, if Tom Brady is football Jesus, then Patrick Mahomes is football Paul. For the people who don't understand that analogy, Paul wrote 2/3 of the New Testament. Paul's that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Patrick, at this point, win them all then, Patrick. Do you, young man. Eventually, you're going to get old and you're going to lose a step and somebody else going to be able to win. But Tom Brady did the same thing. When you got a formula, and then let's not discount how genius Andy Reid is and that defense of those Chiefs. I think you said 2 years ago, Dave, who you going to take, the Chiefs defense or somebody else? The Chiefs defense, the ill part is they cornerbacks is cool, but you got to get past that defensive line. The defensive line don't even let you can't even catch. The linebackers is going to pop you. Oh, man. Do it to run 6 running touchdowns on the Chiefs. Not going to happen.
Let's call
it. Won't happen.
Let's call, because people have been saying, we've heard this the last 3 or 4 weeks about, and they did it with the New England Patriots back in the day. When a team like this is winning the way they are, and they won close games. I'm talking about the Kansas City Chiefs have. People have always said the referees play a part in this. I'm going to say it's bull crap.
No, don't blame it on the ref.
Don't blame it on the ref.
Don't blame it on the refs. I mean, maybe some games, I'm not, a couple out of bound pushes but don't act like, they were saying that with Brady too. Tom Brady get all the calls. Or how about y'all can't beat him?
When the smoke clears after a game like that against the Kansas City Chiefs, because this is what the Buffalo Bills fans were saying on Sunday about the referees. But when the smoke clears, who are they really blaming this loss on? On the head coach, McDermott. They're putting all the focus right now. We're on Wednesday. Tuesday, they would start blaming the head coach. If you go back and look at that game.
Oh, he's hot seat style over there in Buffalo?
Well, you can't get past Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, and they've all been close games. It's those little things.
You can't fire that man. And it definitely ain't. I got you. It ain't Josh. It ain't. You right. Somebody got to eat that.
But the major problem is when you go back, and even Romo said this when they started the third quarter. When you go back, Josh was doing his thing. And I think at times they put too much on Josh. First of all, I hate that tush push. They need to get rid of that, especially with the Buffalo Bills.
Hey.
The Kansas City Chiefs had that. They had that peg down to where they knew it was going to the left side, and they stopped it. That was the dumbest thing. You keep
that
doing
was
that.
The dumbest. When they showed that overview, and For the last 3, he went left, and
Go
then
straight up
boys
the middle,
jumped
bro.
over the top and went under him. I
No,
said,
Straight up the middle.
I even heard what you're saying, Rock, about going up the middle. But who was his Robin in this football game? And that's why I'm blaming coaching. Who was the Robin in this football game for the Buffalo?
for Buffalo?
James Cook, the running back. When
Oh,
they
yeah.
opened that third quarter, he was running through that Kansas City defense,
And
and
they
then they got away from it.
And they stopped.
They stopped. Why would you go away from that?
Looking like
he
the
was-
Falcons against New England in the Super Bowl in the
Cook-
second
hey,
half.
Cook was
Remember,
on
the Falcons running back rushed for 71 in the first half.
Cook was on a whole nother level, dog. I ain't seen Cook run like he was running all season long that last week. Like
That's real.
he
That's
was like,
real.
They were taking him out the game at times, and maybe he was tapping out to come out. But I'm telling you, if I'm the head coach and we're one game away from being in the Super Bowl, son, you're gonna have 2 weeks to rest when we get to the Super Bowl. If I need you 45 carries in this game, you're gonna run 45 carries because they had no solution for him.
none.
Now, I like Kansas City defense, but that's where I'm saying McDermott played a part in this, a big part in this. You took
Well,
James Cook off the game.
this is real easy for the people that's listening. Do you want McDermott or do you want Andy Reid?
Oh, it's easy. You want Andy Reid. But the other thing, too, about McDermott in that first half, and I hate when coaches do this, and it even happened with Dan Quinn when they played the Philadelphia Eagles. Why are you going for the 2-point conversion in the first and second quarter?
Yeah, you
I
didn't have to
hate
do
that.
You didn't have to do
I
that.
hate that's so
It's the dumbest thing.
That's so Madden, and
Yeah.
you 17 and you don't care. Special teams is 1/3 of the game. That means I'm 66% better than you when you don't kick like you, and then you disrespecting all the special team coaches and what they practice for. Like, yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a
To
fan.
me, go ahead, Rock.
Here's the question of the year that I'm asking both of you gentlemen.
I know
Honest,
where you're going.
your honest opinion. Now, don't jump so fast to answer this one. If you have, and let me finish this, a 2-part question. If you have Tom Brady in his prime, Patrick Mahomes in his prime, which is right now, question number 1, who are you choosing to be your franchise quarterback? Question number 2, Bill Belichick, Andy Reid as the coach of this team, who are you choosing? Take your time.
Well, I'll answer the first one. I'll answer in the order that you posed them to us. Number 1, football Jesus. Go blue. I'm going with him. And number 2, Belichick. Like I'm going with him.
I can't believe it. I can't believe you said that.
Because I hate it so because they ran the AFC, dog. When you watch somebody run the gamut, and I'm saying the Chiefs is right behind them. Me and my brother just said, you know what? I've been wasting all this time hating on the Broncos, putting gum and disrespecting their logos. I need to disrespect the Chiefs. We don't like them. And the ill part is Patrick Mahomes is such a nice guy. Travis Kelce was dating the baddest black chick in Missouri for years. They're such good dudes, you can't be a hater. Like, nobody's a jerk. I just need one person to be a jerk, dog. Like, I just need one person, and they won't be. Super Dave?
I think this is real simple, and I think it's real easy. I'm gonna agree with Griff because I'm going with Tom Brady because let me say this, Rock, before I go to my second one. When you look at Patrick Mahomes, and we're saying in their prime, that's fine, but he only has 2 losses in the playoffs in the AFC Championship game. Who are they to?
2 losses.
Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
Well, I don't know if it was a second for the championship, but I know for Tom Brady, it was the AFC Championship game,
Right.
in overtime.
Right.
He lost to Tom Brady, and he lost to Tom Brady again when? In the Super Bowl.
Right.
It makes it real easy and real simple. He's already won it. He's beaten him twice
That's
already.
fair. That's fair.
That's right.
But
And
that's fair.
when you go with Bill Belichick, he's done the same thing. He's beat Andy Reid 3 times because he beat Andy Reid when he was in Philadelphia and they played New England in the Super Bowl.
That's fair.
Good memory.
Listen, I don't think either answer is wrong. Honestly,
Right.
I personally would go with Patrick because Patrick is Tom Brady in a more athletic body. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Even though you just
Agreed.
made some good points now.
Agreed.
Tom Brady, I'm picking Patrick because he's Tom Brady, right here, he's just more athletic as well. So coach-wise.
But you know what's funny about the athletic ability of Patrick Mahomes? He can run and he can do all that, but he want to throw that rock. He believe in his arm. He believe in the pattern that was called and the play that was, he gonna execute it. Like, I love that about him. And remember, that's what they did last year. Held him, and then let him rush for 66 and forgot that he had wheels. Like,
I'm just saying, there's no bad answer for either of those two. But when it comes to coach quarterback combination, that's got to be 1 and 2 of all time.
Yeah,
it's 1 and 2, but you still have to give Brady the edge because he won a Super Bowl with a crazy man, Antonio Bryant, who he picked for to come to his football team, who played a part, and they won a Super Bowl. That was a Super Bowl in Tampa against Patrick Mahomes. Not only that, he had to keep Aaron Hernandez from killing other people on the team.
Man, go ahead, man.
And they were still winning Super Bowl, right?
Well,
you know what? I'll never be able to. If I meet Tom Brady again, Randy Moss caught 3 touchdowns with the Raiders this one season. The next year, he goes to New England and he breaks the record of touchdowns in the NFL. And I'm like, and granted, we had no one who was nowhere close to a Belichick's savvy at coaching or a quarterback. But the fact that even you as a man, like the low self-esteem that you got to have coming to a new team saying, hey, man, I'm just trying to, I know if you look at my all last season, I only caught 3 touchdowns. It's all good. You with Tom now.
There you go.
And
Because
Rock, you got to remember this. The greatest show on turf was who?
The Rams and Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
And Kurt Warner.
Marshall Faulk.
That was Brady's. He didn't play a full season. He didn't play a full season. That's when Drew Bledsoe got hurt.
Right.
During the regular season. He came in against the what? And we all thought there was no way for them to beat that team, the Rams, because they had everything on offense and they had a solid defense.
They had a cold defense. Yeah.
That day, they figured it out and they won that game, especially at the end. They're doing the same thing. Kansas City is doing the same thing New England's been doing for years.
There you go. Games. Absolutely. And see, that's where Patrick Mahomes is growing up, getting even smarter. He's not
smarter.
He's not trying to be Superman all the time. He's understanding Tom Brady's mentality. Like, okay, I don't have to do everything myself. Let me just do what they give me. Let me do what they give me. I ain't trying to be Superman all the time, and then everything is gonna fall.
But what a simple equation, though. How many quarterbacks? How long? I thought Justin. See this young man in Washington. We sound like old dudes. This young man, the quarterback for the Commanders, he's gonna be good, dog. He's going to be good because he tasted it. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole bunch of people.
Hold on. You know how I feel about that. He's good this year.
No, did he?
No. What I'm saying is.
Oh, okay. I thought you said because he tasted it.
That sophomore year. I'll look and see what they do that sophomore year. If
I know.
Back years, then you convince me. He was good this year. But you give that defensive coordinator for all those teams in the NFC East and in the NFC and the AFC. They're gonna find your weaknesses.
But didn't
CJ Stroud,
long name from the Steelers, Roethlisberger, wasn't he? Didn't they bring him in week 4 as a rookie and then he won the Super Bowl, right? But what's the difference? He ain't start the whole year.
I can't remember that.
I can't remember. Roethlisberger did come in. I just can't remember how early or how late it was in the season.
Oh, okay. So is that why they were saying that he'd be the first one to go to the Super Bowl as a rookie?
Yeah. And win it all. Yeah. But the other thing about Roethlisberger during that time when he was with Pittsburgh, they didn't ask him to do a lot. Just like when Russell Wilson won his first championship, they didn't ask Russell to do a lot. They just said, don't mess it up and turn the ball over because we got a great defense.
Which is a great segue. So are we picking Super Bowl right now?
No, it's next week.
No, let's wait. That's next week.
That's a great segue Russ Sierra husband, Pete Carroll, is the new head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders.
That's your team, brother.
When I heard the news, I immediately said, that's a good look in the right direction. Pete Carroll ain't never been a sorry coach. He never been a loser. I remember when he was at USC and he was amazing with Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart and all them, and then went to Seattle and just changed everything. The challenge of having a 73-year-old head coach is, do he think he can bring the Legion of Doom and 2005 playbook to a bunch of young dudes I just hope he don't be caught up as an old man with somebody saying, man, go ahead, man.
No, but I'm gonna give you an example, Griff. I'm not looking at what he can do play-wise and what he can do, because he's more of a defensive guy. I'm looking at him to do what Bill Parcells did for the Cowboys years ago and change the culture. And
the culture need to be changed in Vegas, man. It's no culture. It's nothing.
I mean, I think if anything, he's a foundation builder.
I like that. In
2 or 3 years, you'll have a new head coach, because he is 73 years old.
73, gonna be 74 in September.
Yeah. How long did the Bills coach? Was it Levy? How long did he coach? He's like to 77, right?
Yeah, he was.
He was old. I just saw a highlight of him just now.
He always looked old. When he played Cowboys,
he was old in the 90s.
Yeah, he was old in the 90s.
Hey, you think Pete Carroll gonna bring in Russell Wilson? They're gonna reunite.
That's what people are saying.
You gonna reunite?
Pete Carroll. We also got a new general manager. I like that move. It's all good and pointing in a good direction. My problem and the rest of Raider Nation problem is, what we gonna do in the draft? Here we are, a team on an island, and they talking about out loud that we might pick a wide receiver, if it's females that watch tennis only know that the Vegas team need a quarterback, dog. Mel Kiper Jr. said the Raiders is going to pick some wide receiver, dog. We need a quarterback right now.
Okay, would you take Russell Wilson? Because the Steelers are going.
Russell Wilson ain't sorry, but I would not like old ass Russell Wilson and old ass Pete Carroll. Like, can I get a Jaden?
You want Cam Ward? You want Cam Ward?
Who would you take, Cam Ward or Shador?
Yeah.
Which one would you take right now?
Over who? Cam or Shador?
Yeah. What would you take?
I'll take Shador.
Me too.
Because Tom Brady is there, and Tom Brady been working with Shador since he was a freshman in high school.
Come on, dog. Tom Brady is going to, not only is he already mentoring.
Tom Brady there, he know that quarterback position got to be something.
Come on, Shador going to be the real deal in the league. He ain't just going to be one of these because he's Deion's son.
I don't think Cam going to be sorry either, though.
I think Cam is going to be the better quarterback out of the two.
We going to see, because the Titans, who got the number 1 pick? The Titans or the Giants?
The Titans
is in a. Cam going to have the pressure on him because CJ Stroud came. This is his second season. They done been to the playoffs twice.
Let me tell you
got
something.
Jacksonville. We don't know which sunshine going to show up. The one with high self-esteem or the low self-esteem. And then you got the Colts. If they can get everybody else to lose, they can make it to the playoffs.
So Raiders got the second pick, right?
No, we got like number 6.
Oh, really?
6. Yeah, we ain't in the top.
Well, you know, Deion,
we right after. So I'm saying we ain't gonna catch Shador Cam at 6 or 7.
Hey,
but we can still get. I like Dart.
You never know. Coach Prime, he has influence. He can tell these teams, "Hey, I don't want you to choose my son," and they won't.
The Raider, according to the Raider news, I'm in a bunch of websites with Raider fans. They saying trade Max Crosby for a bunch of round picks and then go up, because we do need to go up if we want a quarterback. We not catching no fresh quarterback at number 6. Like, The only one who would be reasonably okay and it would be that boy Dart from Ole Miss.
But the problem is you got 4 teams or 3 teams ahead of you that's all looking for a quarterback, which is
I know that's what I'm saying. Like
Cleveland, the Giants, and Shador might be going to the Giants. That's where he may be
most
going.
likely. Yeah, that's what that.
Cam, I can't see now. Everybody say the Titans should draft a player that's. We're talking about what's his name? You know what I'm talking about. Travis, Travis Hunter. Talking about drafting him at number 1. To me, that's a wasted pick. I know what he can do offensive and defensive, but I think you start with.
But he ain't no number 1. No,
he ain't no number 1.
No, he ain't no number 1. But if you could catch him at 2 or 3, you're doing awesome.
Oh yeah, you're fine. But again,
he's gonna be top 3.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. But they saying it's gonna go Cam to Tennessee, Travis number 2, and Shador number 3 to the Giants.
Yep, that's how I'm looking at it to go right now.
I don't know, man. It just depends. I think
Shador's gonna trigger everybody and be number 1, but I don't think his daddy want him to be intended. Okay, here's Dion's thought. The Titans, Nashville, Tennessee, or the Giants, New York City, billboards, Times Square. You know what I'm saying? The number 1 city to come to in the country, the number 1 city in the country, or Nashville.
No, you're right. That, but he also looking at who's a quarterback builder. And when you look at the Titans and when you look at the Cleveland Browns, you can't say they're quarterback builders. The Giants, you can say that because we saw what happened with Eli.
What?
And
what happened to Eli 2 decades ago?
Yeah, what happened to Eli after that?
You got different coaching and everything, but I'm saying that's what he's looking at. Plus, you get the spotlight of being in New York. All that plays a part. You don't have that same thing in Cleveland or in Tennessee. But again, I'm taking Cam Ward. So, but y'all need a quarterback. I don't know what you're gonna do.
You need a quarterback bad.
You got to start with a quarterback.
Man, Dion gonna find a way for Shador to be a Raider because Tom Brady over there. We're gonna figure that out. We're gonna find a way.
If that scenario happens, what you just said, this might be our best draft since Charles Woodson, and that was in '97.
So we talked about Griff's new quarterback. New head coach with the Raiders. Let's get to my new head coach with the Cowboys. Let's talk about that next.
Marty's boy.
He got the name. First gig as a head coach.
Marty's boy.
This could be a good thing for the Cowboys.
I'm not mad at it.
How you feel?
It's on start right now. Y'all both that?
How you feel? It's your team.
Okay, let me tell you this. First of all, I'm going to In-N-Out on Friday night and not thinking that the Cowboys will make any kind of announcement because I was thinking maybe Sunday during the championship game, right before the championship game, to steal some of that spotlight away from the 2 teams that are playing in NFC East, Washington and Philadelphia. I thought for sure it was going to happen then. But at 8:40 p.m. Central Time, the news came down so quietly.
So
the Cowboys have a new head coach. And we really don't want y'all to know about it because we know the backlash you're going to get from hiring this guy that nobody knows about. I'm fine with the pick. I have no problem with it. I think what they did was got rid of not
got rid of, like you told me, they didn't
renew his contract. Mike McCarthy, which I had no problem with them not renewing his contract because under those, you had 3 years where he went 12-5, but went out in the first round or went out in a divisional game. That's not going to work. When they brought you in, it was about winning.
I would love to go. I would love to be out in the divisional game, though.
All day. Hey, I would love a 12-5 record 3 years in a row.
I would love to go 12-5 once in the last 30 years, though.
Ask Rock, and Rock, he know about the Detroit Lions. They ain't been in anything in a long time.
Listen,
yeah, but the feeling.
We all want Super Bowl. That's goal number 1. That's everybody's goal, of course.
That's the only goal.
That's right. But if you finishing 12-5 3 years in a row as a coach, yeah, I'm frustrated because we couldn't get over that hump. But I'm like, okay, I'm still a winning coach. I still know how to coach a winning team. So
no, he doesn't, Rock.
But the Cowboy fans, the Cowboy fans, they don't care if they go 15-2. If
First
they
of all,
don't win the Super Bowl, this season sucked.
Well, that's
You had
every team. Every team
had a
should have that
team-
mindset.
you had a
No.
team that had no.
Well, Raiders don't. We would love to go 15-2.
You had a team with no culture built in with Mike McCarthy. You had a team that didn't really believe. We saw what happened last year when they played Green Bay in the playoffs. You won every game at home last year, and you got slaughtered by the Green Bay Packers in that final game.
That was random.
And the whole point was, it ain't just you had Kellen Moore calling plays. Kellen Moore is long gone. This is Mike McCarthy, and he had that team looking like a soft team. And you start off the year looking soft. You knew you knew your defense wasn't going to be ready because you had a new defensive coordinator. But who was over the offense? It was Mike McCarthy.
And
he
then
was
you're playing against a team that he got to the Super Bowl and everything else. That I just thought about that. They had a lot to play with it, dude. Could not beat his. You know, that's what everybody want to do. Go to their old team and beat up their old team. Some stories be amazing, but some stories be like, that's why we traded you.
See,
Message.
You got Cowboy fans sitting there saying that they finna burn their jerseys because they haven't seen a pick like this since
I'm
Dave
not burning
Campo.
no jerseys.
Since Dave Campo. When Dave Campo took over, Cowboys had no talent. I mean, it's really, I mean,
What
they
years
went
was
5-11.
that? What year was that? Because I
Was
remember the name.
You
that
remember
before,
Dave Campo?
was
You
that
remember Dave
before
Campo?
Parcells?
No, I remember.
Was that before Parcells?
It was after Parcells.
Okay.
I mean, before Parcells. You're right.
Yeah,
before
because they
Parcells,
brought
yeah.
didn't they bring in
So
Parcells
what
after
year
that?
is that?
They brought in Wade.
92?
No, it had to be in the 2000s because I know I
92.
went to
That was still Jimmy.
no, yeah, 92 was still Jimmy. We talking about they had Chan Gailey. I got the thing right here. I don't want to make.
I remember when Chan was. I remember when Chan was there. You
I
right.
think they brought did they
Oh,
bring
here it is.
Camp?
Dave Campo from 2000 to 2002.
Oh, good.
And then they brought in Parcells,
Then
right?
Parcells 2003 to 2006, and then Wade Phillips, and then for somehow 9 years we
Wade Phillips was in Minnesota before that.
Son of Bum. One
And
of
then
the
you brought
greats.
in Jason Garrett, who was 9 years with the Cowboys. Wasted 9 of my long years of my life watching Jason Garrett coach his team.
But Jason
was
Garrett
awful.
is a
This was
player's coach.
Jason Garrett never said. This was Jason Garrett for them whole 9
He
years.
never said nothing, never called a play. Never talked in his head, Mike.
Well, no, he can hold up that one finger when they scored a touchdown. Let
That's about
everybody know
it.
we gotta,
That's
we're
about
going for the
it,
field
boy.
goal.
He
We're
was
going for the extra point. That's
I
what
love
he-
Jason Garrett, but he didn't coach not one.
Jason
down.
Garrett had no
He was
fire
horrible.
in him.
Jason
You
Garrett
could
was
tell
horrible. You know
Jason
that.
Garrett is a dude with a gun right to his right, and Jason Garrett will be just like this.
Listen, every
And
time.
you knew how Jerry Jones felt about him. He gave him 9 long years being the head coach with this team.
Yeah.
I wish we
not
had a
putting
coach for
anything
9 years.
Oh, all right. Well, hold on, y'all.
I wish we had a coach for 9 games.
You wish
We
you
had
had
a coach for 9.
You had one, John Gruden, but y'all messed that up. Well, he
But
messed it
but
up.
let me say this,
He
Rob.
messed it up. He was emailing. I don't know how John had the perfect. John got traded. Remember, we picked up John in a trade and for some players. And I don't know how he messed that up, dog.
But
He
you know,
wrote to the commissioner or something. Anyway,
this is the problem I have with Cowboy fans because I mean they put
you are one of them.
They put, and I'm one of them. I'm just saying they put Brian Schottenheimer in a bad situation. We know who the problem is. It's Jerry. And if Jerry wants this team to work, because I mean that press conference they had on Monday, it was 1 hour and 4 minutes. And probably 45 minutes was about Jerry Jones. It wasn't even about Brian Schottenheimer. It was about Jerry Jones having the stage. That's the part we got to get rid of. I mean, I like Jerry as an owner, and I wish I could say he was a great owner.
We just, our owner looked like he cut his hair with the Three Stooges.
with a bowl.
Straight.
Chili
That
bowl.
bowl look,
A
dog.
barber from the Three Stooges from the 40s cut his hair. And they did a thing on his barber and was like, he want the same.
I love it. Hey, no, it's who he is.
But
Can't say nothing about his pockets.
I heard Bill Belichick say this: if you don't get players, it won't matter. And we saw what Philadelphia did this year. They went out after what they did last year. They went 10-1 at the beginning of the season, and they started.
Yeah.
They lost
and then lost their last 7 or 6 or
out of the last 7 games. They went out and got players. They took a chance, not even a chance, but they got Saquon Barkley. They went out and got other players on that defense to make that defense better. If Jerry wants to get back to winning championship, and it's been 30 years, it's been a long 30 years, he can't do what he did this past season, which was what? We're all in and not do anything. Not bring anybody in. I don't mind him not doing it for Mike McCarthy. That's fine. But now we got to sit and see what Mike McCarthy was all about. But for a new head coach, a young head coach coming in, I know he's 50, but a young head coach coming in, his first time being a head coach, the whole point is bring some talent in. He needs to run it.
We ain't won a Super Bowl in 41 years.
For y'all?
41.
When last time we won a Super Bowl?
1984.
That's when the last time y'all won it. The Raiders won it. That's when that
won it. We won in 81, and then we won in 84.
No,
y'all won after that.
Because what's his name? You sure?
Listen to me.
They went to the Super Bowl.
We went in 01
and lost to Tampa Bay
and lost to John Gruden.
Yeah.
Don't tell me my problems, dog. I know my problems.
And that was a cold team.
I was an 8th grader, dog.
That was a cold team, that 84 team, dog.
Yeah, that was a cold team. So,
but everybody keeps saying that, you know, the Cowboys should have went after a name, and why did you go with somebody inside the house? I have no problem with that either. I mean, you got to have somebody that's going to be familiar with Dak. You paid Dak $60 million a year, so you got to also make him comfortable. Now, I want some competition for him to put some pressure on him. Be better than
need a little fire up under him, dog.
Yeah, that's all. I think for any player, if you're gonna do it for
it ain't Cooper Rush. Cooper's gonna start.
He's a backup.
Cooper will start in Las Vegas.
But I want a coach to come here that can light up and be creative. And it sounds like with Brian Schottenheimer, he can be creative with the motions and what he's gonna do on the offensive side, which Mike McCarthy didn't do. The offense was dull. But when people say, well, you had a chance to go get Ben Johnson. You got a chance to get Mike Vrabel. Who else? Who else is out there? You had so many coaches out there, people that had names. I don't care about names anymore because some of those same coaches, like Ben Johnson, we don't know what he's done or what he can do. Right?
We about to find out. We know what he can do. We know what he can do.
Chicago gonna get. Chicago is in a horrible situation right now.
No. It's different than being It's different than being a head coach.
No, I'm saying, but as a coach, Ben Johnson has proven himself as an offensive coordinator, which is a coach. So
it's two different types because when North Turner left the Cowboys.
No. I help you even better than that. Josh McDaniels is an amazing offensive coordinator.
Thank you. That's it.
But a coordinator is also a coach.
He's not a head coach.
I'm saying he's not a head coach, but he's a coach. So he's proven that he's proven that he can perform on the highest level as a coach,
as a coordinator,
which is a coach.
We're not disputing that a coordinator ain't a coach. I'm just saying, just because you're a great offensive coordinator, don't make you a great head coach.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying a coordinator is also a coach.
It is, but that's like saying a dog is also a canine. Shut up, Rock.
Let's move on to Jimmy.
Everything.
Let's move to Jimmy Butler, doggone. Let's talk about Jimmy and why he's walking out of practice and he's
it's on the news right now
indefinitely. And what team is going to sign him and pick him up, and he's going to get traded, or have we seen Jimmy Buckets play for the last time in a Miami Heat uniform? That's next.
What's the boy? Who's the general man? Who was the coach with the slick back hair for the Lakers?
Pat Riley.
Pat Riley said we're not trading him. He ain't going nowhere. Yeah, and Pat Riley is old school. Mm-hmm. 80. He like Dave. You signed the contract.
Yep.
And you're gonna be here, and we gonna suspend you. We gonna take money out your pocket, young. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
I love it, dog. That's old school. Like, how you gonna come in here? And look, we're not in the locker room.
No,
we're not out there, so we don't know what's going on from both sides. We
know what a paid contract is, and you saying you want to leave and acting like you was the rest of these NBA players who done asked to leave, and then they get, and that's what Dave is always talking about. You can't even finish the season, The deadline is February 6th. He's obviously acting like a child. They should purposely keep him. Who else did that? Oh, the eyebrow dude when he was in
Anthony
New
Davis,
Orleans.
when he was in New Orleans.
Yeah, and they was like, "We not trading you." He was like, "Good." I'm gonna be like,
No, I love it. I like these contracts, man. I think these contracts should go back to being old school contracts. Like you sign, you gonna be here. And if you want to disrupt the team and disrupt the locker room and whatever reason, all right, take your butt up into the stands with your mama and
That's
chill
real.
out.
That's
Because
real,
we're
dog.
gonna roll. We're gonna roll with the
now
team.
let's
that's
be
in together.
accountable. Yeah, let's
It
be
is what it
grown
is, man.
men.
And I like Jimmy. I'm like, come on, man. But
I'm a fan.
when you get to the point where you can't take your ball and leave just because and leave the rest of your team hanging like that. Like, come on.
Well, the cold part is he's disrespecting his brothers. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, you don't know what's going on in the locker room, but him being the face of the franchise and saying he don't want to leave while you got these other 9-11 dudes who ain't as good as Jimmy Butler, but made their way to the NBA, and now they taking L's that they don't have to because they teammate. Like Jimmy Butler would have been a horrible person in the military. You supposed to have your partners back. You supposed to have, you know what I'm saying? And I understand. It's a new, I know, it's a new, I quit, and if I don't get my way, I'm what? Yeah, but and this is when you bring in lawyers. Now, you know how you shut somebody up? Bring in a lawyer and talk to you. Let me talk to you, Jimmy. Come, Jimmy. Before you go home, we need you to come see somebody real quick. So that lawyer could say, according to Amendment 6 on paragraph D that you signed, we don't have to let you go. We can let you go if we say, oh, if we can get Wembanyama, let's trade Jimmy. But if ain't nobody moving nobody, we don't have to do nothing. And you acting like a kid, we just gonna take money from you. That don't hurt our feelings.
Well, the word is that the Phoenix Suns are interested in trading for him so he can get team up with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker over there.
But they're going to have to break that up. They're going to have to give them somebody.
The Golden State Warriors are in the mix too. So it's Phoenix and Golden State that are in the mix. If Pat Riley allows him to be traded. But if I'm Pat Riley, I'm sticking to my guns right now.
Yeah.
You're going to be mad. Because I know you're going to be the new Isaiah Ryder.
Is Jimmy, what is he mad about? Is he mad about because he want a longer contract?
I think he wants a championship. I think he wants a championship.
He's not even being man enough to say, I would like to leave so I can, and
I like Jimmy, but we saw this same Jimmy where? We saw it in
Chicago.
Minnesota. No, he did it in Minnesota. He did it in Minnesota.
He did in Chicago too, I think. I think everywhere he's been before he left.
It's very cancerous when he wants out.
Right.
Yes. He's a hell of a player in April and May and June. He's a hell of a player. But you got to get to April, May, and June with Jimmy Butler.
You got to make it. You got to make it
with him. And I think Pat Riley is that old school, what you just brought about. He ain't got to do anything. You saw what he did with LeBron.
Contracts.
He didn't give LeBron what he wanted. And LeBron wanted to walk. Because Miami is paradise. To be in Miami is paradise.
It's paradise, but when the team is sorry, that ain't fun. That you got a Lamborghini and a house on the beach and all, that ain't fun at all. Oh, speaking of houses on the beaches, JJ Redick's house, the coach of the Lakers, burnt to the ground. It was part of them fires. Yeah, I ain't even know. And I just heard about it and I was like, wow, like that's what being from Cali, my Aunt Michelle's, and I'm changing the subject. My Aunt Michelle's house, she's from Altadena, Loma Alta Park area, which is above Pasadena, but walking distance. Like you could walk from Altadena to Pat. That's what we used to do to go. That's how I snuck in the Rose Bowl to be a Michigan fan. I was at my Aunt Michelle's house, and while everybody was caught up in whatever they was caught up, I walked to the Rose Bowl. And then the people out, Pasadena has two big high schools, John Muir and Pasadena High School. People in Pasadena don't say, I go to Pasadena High School. They say, I graduated from HS. So it's always John Muir versus HS, and they play on Thanksgiving at the Rose Bowl. What you gonna say? Why
Another Griff story, random story that me.
I mean, at least
you could have stopped. You could have stopped. You would just go down. You could have stopped
Jimmy
after.
Butler.
Yeah, he really is.
He
And
told
Rock,
another random story.
He started off by saying what? He said, I know I'm off the subject.
Right.
I mean,
It's
I
like-
was like, okay,
I want to
maybe
be straight into another podcast.
only people that cared about that part of the story was the people that went to that high school. All right, let's get ready to wrap up and talk about the surprise story for Griff. I'm just gonna read the story, Griff, and you can tell me your thoughts about it. This may be offensive for a lot of people because being an outlaw in Mississippi could be as simple as pleasuring yourself. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Hands up like that.
I'm gonna leave it at that. So here's the story.
Masturbation.
A state senator is proposing a new law that effectively bans masturbation for men. Mississippi Senator Bradford Blackman even slapped a catchy name on his legislation, the Contraception Begins at Erection Act, which aims to block men from wasting their seed unless they intend to make a baby. Men could be hit with some pretty stiff, no pun intended, fines for solo ejaculation. First-time violators will be hit with a $1,000 citation. Second timers, $5,000 citation. The third strike would really cost transgressors a whopping $10,000. Griff, what are your thoughts about this legislation, sir?
I think that you and Dave thinking that I would have so many that's the dumbest story I heard all week, dog.
You don't even know how to answer.
And then y'all telling me like I'm a masturbator, and I done told y'all I'll be outside at the park doing my thing. Like, that's the dumbest story. How you know I'm masturbating if I'm at the crib? If y'all don't, let me tell you something. This new regime that's in office is trickling down to states, and stupid things like that are about to be the norm.
Just wasting people's time.
First of all,
so you know
who was snitching? Dave was masturbating. Hello?
Well, how would you know exactly?
Dave, yeah.
Oh,
they got a hotline. Hello? Yes. They try to disguise your voice.
I saw a dude the other day who I think was leaving unnecessary seed. Is there a reward for this?
Hey, I saw a dude over there massaging the meat missile. He was choking the old chicken.
In some better news, I saw the video you made of your wife crying in the car, listening to that country song, and why my eyes was watery.
Oh man, yeah, I'm surprised they made a country song for her because, hey, that's my dog, that's my baby, that's my Snookums right there. It's indeed.
That thing had me. I was in my. Why? For some reason, I was like, Rock T don't make me a song. Look at Dave. Man, if I had a wife, I'll write her a song too.
I do have a wife. Right here and right here.
Yep. And that's why.
It's a dude with a caterpillar hat. Wasting.
Hey,
is this the
that's
right
a wrap,
number?
man.
Y'all can say whatever you want to say. I mean, the story is a waste. It is a waste. It's a waste for this guy doing whatever he's doing, trying to do what he's doing right now. But the bottom line is, if you married, you're gonna do it because your wife will always have a headache.
Wow.
On that note,
I would like to end the show on that note.
episode 125. Rock Tees is who I be.
Oh, like I'm the only one.
Nobody said you was the only one, but the one.
Close it out. Say bye, Griff.
Yeah, I'm just Griff. Hold on.
You know, the best part about having a wife is I can still masturbate.
That That was about Super Dave. Go ahead. Say bye, Dave. Get up out of here, dog.
And after you get through, you ain't got to talk to nobody. It's your boy Super Dave. But guess what, y'all? We don't care. You want a handshake? Everybody want a handshake with me right now?
No
Oh
dog.
man, he
We
care.
out.
I
We
care.
out.
I hate the homies.